Robert Allen once said, cultural differences should not separate us from each other, but rather, cultural diversity brings a collective strength that can benefit all of humanity. Welcome to the online international training in advanced conversational English on culture and arts by Bicol University Philippines, co-hosted by National University of Kaohsiung, Taiwan, in collaboration with National Chongqing University and National Pingtung University. This will run from September 13 to September 28, 2021. To formally start this undertaking, let us give thanks to our Almighty God for the opportunity to conduct this online international training. This will be led by Professor Maria Hazel Altovan, and this will be followed by the introductory videos of National University of Kaohsiung, Taiwan, and Bicol University, Philippines.
Our heads and put ourselves in the holy presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty and ever-loving God, we glorify and give thanks to your name. You have showered us with your grace and abundant mercy. Your presence continuously reminds us of your faithfulness and guidance. On this day, we humbly come to you to ask you to bless all our speakers with your greatest inspiration, so that they may share the most of their knowledge and experiences and put it into practice what we may learn throughout the training program. We pray that you bless all the committees in charge, that they may be able to fulfill their tasks responsibly, and that the goals they have set may all be achieved. And our participants, that they may be able to absorb the learnings and acquire the skills they want to have in this program. Your infinite blessing would mean success of this whole training program. May we be living witnesses of your genuine love through the enactment of knowledge and wisdom acquired through this activity. We ask this in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you very much for that virtual tour. With that, we already have an idea of what each university looks like, so that when the pandemic is over and we get the chance to visit these universities in person, we will already be familiar. Now, may we request our international directors for their welcome remarks. Let us start with Dr. Timson M. Rivera, Director of Bicol University International Relations Office.
Thank you very much, Abby. Candidly, I have always thought that learning the English language is complicated as it is multifaceted and kind of like tedious. However, with a passion and drive to create innovative ways of teaching the language, Bicol University Philippines, in partnership with the National Kaohsiung University and in collaboration with National Chungching University and National Pingtung University in Taiwan, we have yielded a cyber modality in which the foreign students will be provided with opportunity to learn English as well as virtually explore the exquisiteness of Philippines and Bicol culture. We have pedagogically designed this 2-week online international training in advanced conversational English on culture and arts with the fusion of language training and internationalization. Considering the daunting challenges of the global health crisis, it never occurred to me that learning advanced English could be virtual, it could be practical, fun, and a lot easy. In addition, this training will be delivered by adept and seasoned experts in the various fields of culture and the arts. So despite the adversities of the COVID-19 pandemic has brought us, we continue to make waves in the area of internationalization. With that said, it is my pleasure to welcome each one of you in this undertaking. To the Bicol University Provosts, Dr. Arnulfo M. Mascarenhas, the SUC President for of Bicol University, Dr. Letizia M. Lopez, Dean of the College of Arts and Letters, Dr. Irene R. Moral, the Director of the University Language Center, other Bicol University administrators, professors, students, and staff. We also have the provosts of National University of Kaohsiung. We have Dr. Yue Tuan Chen, the president of NUK, Dr. Xinghao Wu, the dean of the Office of International Affairs, Ms. Yuan Ru Shu, the coordinator of academic exchanges. We also have the presidents of National Pingtung University, President Yuan Huangge, President of National Chungching University. We have President Fusheng Xu. To the students of National University of Kaohsiung, National Chungching University, and National Pingtung University, and to other administrators, professors, students, non-teaching staff, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasing afternoon to one and all. Thank you, Shishi.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rivero, for that virtual warm welcome. May we also request Dr. Xinghao Wu, Dean of National University of Kaohsiung, Office of International Affairs, to give his welcome remarks.
Okay, greeting from Kaohsiung. I'm Xinghao Wu. I'm the Dean of Office of International Affairs on behalf of NUK. I would like to first to give my sincere appreciations for Dr. Arnulfo, the president of Bicol University, and Dean Dimson for international affairs, my old friends, and Dr. Letizia Lopez, the dean of the College of Arts and Letters of BU, and Dr. Irene the Director of Language Center, and of course the Professor Marie Moreno from the English Department, and Abby. Okay, yeah, I have to appreciate for your hard working for coordinating such a meaningful event, and giving us unique opportunities for students from UK and other partner university of our Asia Virtual Academy, Zhongxin University in Taichung City, and Pingtung University from Pingtung County, also in southern Taiwan. And I myself have looked into the well-organized and sophisticated designed programs, and myself would like to participate. It's very wonderful experience for students to have these unique opportunities to train their conversation skills, and also learn a lot from the culture, arts, and traditions in Philippines, especially for Bicol area. So once again, I would like to, on behalf of our presidents and all these faculties and students of NUK, I'd like to appreciate you again for giving us these opportunities to connect two universities, two countries, and to learn more and to explore more fields. We have recently been founded by the Ministry of Education that our vision of our nation is to become the bilingual nation by 2030. So we need to work more on the enhancement of students' English skill, and also for teachers to teach in English mediums. So it could be a good start and timely program for us to moving forward to these targets. So once again, I'd like to appreciate all of you, your attendance, and I wish you all the success for this meaningful and wonderful program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wu, for setting a welcoming atmosphere with your kind words. Now, to give us a boost for this activity, let's listen to the messages of the presidents of Bicol University and National University of Kaohsiung. Let us first listen to the message of Bicol University's beloved president, Dr. Arnulfo M. Mascareñas.
Thank you very much, Abby. To the highly esteemed president of National University of Kaohsiung, Dr. Yue Wan Chen, presidents of National Zhongxin University and National Pingtung University. I've been there, I think 3 years ago, before the pandemic. The Dean of the NUK Office of International Affairs, Dr. Xing Hao Wu, the Dean of the BU College of Arts and Letters, Dr. Letty Lopez, the Director of the BU International Relations Office, Dr. Dimson Rivero, the Director of the BU Language Center, Dr. Irene Moral, other members of Team BU and Team NUK, to all resource persons, all participants, good afternoon. It is an established fact that if you want to know the heart and soul of a country, you must learn its language. But after learning the language, one must explore it further to move beyond the educated learning of the language and add some local flavor to its use by immersing in the culture of its users and fully establishing the ability to use such language in informal and local setting. I'm sure our friends and partners from Kaohsiung, from Zhongxin, and Pingtung in Taiwan are more than willing to do this, to immerse in Filipino culture, even with this pandemic. Thank God for the ease of technology and the brains behind this wonderful program appreciating cultures, and immersing oneself in the flavors of the global village has not only been made possible, but is sustained in this new normal. What truly cements our partnership, my dear friends, is not merely geographic, for we are all Asians, but more so our common use and knowledge of English as a global language. Looking at your program, the 14 sessions of this online international training in advanced conversational English on culture and arts is truly a significant event as it brings a fusion of language learning and cultural immersion within the confines of our respective homes and countries. Our warmest congratulations to all who made this possible, but most especially to the Language Center under the able leadership of Dr. Irene Moral and the Bicol University College of Arts and Letters under the leadership of Dr. Leti Lopez for spearheading and conceptualizing this learning experience. To our partners from Kaohsiung, Chongqing, and Pingtung, and all participants, I do hope this will be a truly significant learning and cultural event for you. Thank you for continuously choosing Bicol University as your partner in learning. Once again, good afternoon to everyone.
Thank you very much, President Mascareñas, for your motivating speech. Indeed, you never cease to inspire us. Let us now listen to the message of National University of Kaohsiung's President, Dr. Yue Tuan Chen.
Greetings from National University of Kaohsiung, Taiwan. This is Principal Yue Tuan Chen. It's my honor and with great pleasure to welcome all of you to the opening ceremony of online international training on advanced conversational English with culture and arts hosted by Bicol University in partnership with NUK. On behalf of NUK, I would like to express our deepest appreciation for inviting us to co-host this meaningful program. It's our privilege to be able to work with our valued partner. I would like to express my deepest appreciation to the BU Language Center, International Relations Office, and the College of Arts and Letters for offering such a wonderful online training program to the students from NUK, Chongqing, and the Pingtung University. We have recently been funded by Taiwanese government to work towards the goal of becoming a branding national in the year 2030. Our top priority is to enhance students' English skills and the teachers' capacity to teach in English. So it's time to launch such an excellent program. First of all, I'm happy that we can stay connected virtually and strengthen our existing partnership through a series of activities held by both institutions. I believe that participants will not only improve their conversational skill, but also learn Filipino cultures and travel attractions from the program. Lastly, I wish you all the success in the following 2 weeks intensive training. Greetings from National.
Thank you, Madam President, for your encouraging message. To give us an overview of the training program, may I give the virtual podium to the Director of Language Center, Dr. Irene Moral.
Thank you, Ms. Abby. To the President of the National University of Kaohsiung, Dr. Yue Tuan Shen, President of Bicol University, Dr. Arnulfo Mascareñas, the Dean of International Relations Office for NUK, Dr. Xing Hao Wu, Coordinator for Academic Exchanges, National University of Kaohsiung, Ms. Yuan Ru Shu, Dr. Dimson Rivero, IRO Director of Bicol University, Dr. Leticia Lopez, Dean of the College of Arts and Letters, and my partners in this endeavor, my co-workers in government service, our dear participants from 3 universities in Taiwan, a pleasant afternoon. Bicol University warmly welcomes all of you to this online international training in advanced conversational English on culture and arts, hosted by Bicol University and co-hosted by National University of Kaohsiung in collaboration with the National Chongqing University and National Pingtung University. For a brief overview, this program derives inspiration on the idea that language is the bearer of culture and identity and sense of nationhood. This activity aims to enhance the participants' conversational English skills while developing a heightened sense of cultural awareness, understanding, and appreciation for the cultures and arts of Taiwan and the Philippines. Guided by the baseline information derived from the diagnostic test, anchored on the Common European Framework of Reference, CEFR, an international standard for describing language ability, which we conducted. The English-speaking competency needs of the students shall be addressed. Culture-based topics such as places and tourist attractions in Bicol, Philippines, Bicol dishes and delicacies, Bicol culture and traditions, festivals and performing arts in Bicol, Philippines, cultural communication, and Bicol Philippine journalism and broadcasting will be introduced. Sessions will proceed in an engaging, inclusive, and interactive manner. Training sessions will run for 2 weeks with 2 hours per session, and they will be handled by the professors of the College of Arts and Letters who have a wide range of expertise and cross-cultural experiences. The COVID-19 may have brought changes in the educational landscape, but it has not stopped the people in the academe minds from looking for ways to cope with the situation and finding new avenues for learning. This culture-based language program has proven this. The virus may have brought havoc in our lives across the globe, but it has not, and it should not prevent us from extending our hands of friendship across distance through meaningful use of language, though virtually. We therefore look forward with optimism that this academic endeavor will be fruitful, pleasurable, and beneficial to everyone. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Irene, for giving us a bird's eye view of what is to happen in the next few days. At this juncture, may I call on Ms. Yuan Ru Shu, or as we call her, Anna, to introduce the student participants from the participating universities.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Anna from the National University of Kaohsiung, Office of International Affairs. We are delighted to have 28 participants to participate in this innovative and worthwhile online learning program. 14 of them are from National University of Kaohsiung. 12 of them are from National Zhongxin University, and 2 students from National Pingdong University. This program is comprised of students from 20 different departments. Most of them are undergraduate students, but we also have 4 graduate students and 1 PhD student. It's wonderful to see so many of you here. Prepare yourself to be challenged and inspired. I believe you will learn a lot from the following 2 weeks intensive training. And I would like to hand over to Dr. Lopez for the introduction of the trainers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Anna. At this moment, let us have the introduction of the trainers, to be given by the Dean of College of Arts and Letters, Dr. Leticia M. Lopez.
Thank you, Ms. Abby. Mabuhay! Welcome to Bicol University, Legazpi City, Philippines. To the President of the National University of Kaohsiung, Dr. Yuitu Wanten, Dr. Singha Wu, Dean, Office of the International Affairs, NUK, Ms. Yuan Rusu, Coordinator of Academic Exchanges, NUK, to the Bicol University President, Dr. Arnulfo M. Mascareñas, Dr. Dimson M. Rivero, Director, Bicol University International Relations Office, Dr. Irene Moral, Director, Bicol University Language Center, and colleagues in the government service, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am proud to present to you the experts who will have honed your skills in advanced conversational English on culture and the arts. Please wave your hand to be recognized. First off is the current department chair of the Communication Department at Bicol University College of Arts and Letters. He is a graduate of Master of Arts in Development Communication at the University of the Philippines, Open University. Professor Aguilar is known for his work in community evaluation and surveys, community engagement, and participatory research, which bring to the fore the grassroots perspectives on pertinent communication and cultural issues. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Adrian Aguilar. Next in line is a full-time faculty of the Language Center who has been teaching Korean and English literature to both undergraduate and graduate students for almost 3 years now. May I present to you Professor Maria Hazel A. Altavano. Followed by a full-time faculty of the Bicol University College of Arts and Letters, who has a Master of Arts degree in Literature from the same university and currently a candidate in doctorate degree and Philippine Studies program from the University of the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Aleta A. Amador. Please wave, ma'am. Another is a full-time faculty of Bicol University for the last 22 years, teaching language, and literature. She brings in her personal experiences in intercultural communication, having been part of cultural and educational exchanges herself. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Dr. Jocelyn I. Bartolata. Next is a full-time faculty of the Humanities Department of the College of Arts and Letters. He also teaches Spanish. May I present to you Professor Inocencio Bermundo. Followed by the current chair of the Humanities Department of the Bicol University College of Arts and Letters. May I present to you Professor Ramil Tabinia. Another is the current chair of the Print and Broadcast Media Department of the Bicol University College of Arts and Letters. He is a graduate of Master of Communication at the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Open University System. He is currently taking up Doctor of Communication at the University of the Philippines, Open University in Los Baños, Laguna. He is also a practicing broadcaster and journalist, being a correspondent of the Philippine Star in Bicol and a host of the weekly program Analysis at Sagitsit FM, based in Legazpi City. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Anesito de Matera. Also a professor of performing arts at the Bicol University College of Arts and Letters. She is a Master in Cultural Education graduate and an executive member of the National Commission for Culture in the Arts, Committee on Cultural Education. May I present to you Professor Agnes I. Lasin. Next is an associate professor who currently teaches major communication courses for undergraduate students and public management courses for the Open University and Institute of Governance and Development of the university. She graduated Master of Arts in Communication at the University of Texas at El Paso, USA, and Master in Public Management at the Development Academy of the Philippines. Her community engagement include Rare Pride campaigns in the Philippines since 2010 that help promote the integrity of marine protected areas through social marketing approaches. She worked extensively in communities that represented various ecosystems for 23 years prior to her full-time teaching engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Professor Ruby Makasinag. Another department chair of the Performing Arts at the College of Arts and Letters. She finished Doctor of Education, major in Educational Management. She is an executive member at the National Commission Culture in the Arts, Committee on Cultural Education. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Shirley Maloles. Next in line is a full-time faculty member of the College of Arts and Letters who has been teaching English language and communication for over 23 20 years now. She has a PhD in educational foundations and 2 master's degree, one in English Studies language and another in education, major in English. Thus, is competent in both content and pedagogy. Her specific interests are in pragmatics, sociolinguistics, and world Englishes. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Maria Celina Elijah G. Meneses. Also a full-time faculty of the College of Arts and Letters, who has been teaching Chinese Mandarin and English to both undergraduate and graduate students for almost 14 years now. She obtained her Chinese Mandarin formal training at the Confucius Institute at Ateneo de Manila University, Quezon City, Philippines. May I present to you Professor Marnie A. Morano. Next in line is an English faculty of the College of Arts and Letters and designated director of the University Language Center. She has a very rich experience teaching English in both public and private universities for almost 25 years now. She also has a training in TESOL. May I present to you Dr. Irene R. Moral. Another is a full-time faculty of the College of Arts and Letters under the Department of Literature. She is also currently designated as head of the technical support staff of the Office of Vice President for Academic Affairs, and she earned her Master of Arts in Literature at the Bicol University Graduate School with focus on folklore research. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Rogelyn P. Samar. Last but not the least, a faculty member of Bicol University College of Arts and Letters. She is a graduate of Master of Arts in Media Studies, major in journalism at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. She is also currently taking up PhD in Media Studies in UP. Sirafika is a sought-after lecturer, speaker, in various communications and various topics including journalism, public relations, political economy of communication, and gender and development. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Professor Gladys Sirafika. There you have it, the expert faculty members of the Bicol University College of Arts and Letters. Thank you and have a fruitful learning engagement to the core faculty of Bicol University. Once again, mabuhay and thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lopez and Miss Anna, for that getting to know you part. Now let us have the leveling of expectations. And for this, I shall be your facilitator. Once again, hello everyone and good afternoon. This 2-week language training aims to provide opportunity to you students to learn more about the English language while exploring the colorful culture of the Philippines and then the province of Bicol specifically. But we would like to know what you are thinking about this activity. I only have 3 questions to ask you. But before that, please click the link provided in the chat box. Once you have already clicked the link in the chat box, please give a thumbs up. Okay. On your screen, you will see an arrow on target. Let me share my screen too. Under the picture is a question. The first question that you will answer is, what do you expect to gain from this learning program? You may give 3 different words which would express what you want to gain from this learning program. Type them in the 3 boxes below the question. And remember, you only have to write words and not phrases for uniformity of answers. On your mark, get, set, go. Now go on and key in your answers for just 30 seconds. Okay, so we can already see some words on the screen. We can see love, communication skills, oral practice, speaking, cultural understanding, enrichment, fluency. And we have a lot more other words in the screen. Okay, so are there other words you'd like to send? Okay, there's also reading. All right. Among the cluster of words at the forefront, we can see the word culture, and then followed by the word speaking and friends and fluency. I would like you to keep your answers in mind. And at the end of the sessions, you shall find out for yourself if these expectations have been met. Now let's proceed to the next question. So, what do you expect from the teachers and facilitators? You can also type your answers on the chat box, on the 3 boxes under the picture. Have you already answered? Okay, now we can see some words on the screen. We have grammar, patience, no stress, consideration, care. But among this cluster of words, the most outstanding word is friendly and patient. So these are the expectations you'd like to see from your teachers and facilitators. So we shall find out if your expectations have been accomplished by the end of the sessions. So you have to remember your answers, as I shall also be recording the results. Now, for our third question, let us set aside our slide first. May I request everyone to get a sheet of paper and a pen. This time, you shall write your answers on a sheet of paper. Is everyone ready? Show me a thumbs up if you are. Okay, I can see a lot of thumbs up. So the third question is, what will you do to make your experience in this learning program worth remembering? Okay, I will repeat the question. What will you do to make your experience in this program, in this learning program, worth remembering? Think about it, then write it down. I shall give you only 20 seconds to do this. Okay, take a look at what you have written for 5 seconds. Read silently what you have written at least 3 times. Now fold the piece of paper 4 times. Then keep it somewhere safe. Don't lose it, because at the end of the training program, we shall check if you have accomplished what you have written down in the piece of paper. Thank you very much for participating in our leveling of expectation. We will have a short break, a 2 minutes break before we start session 1.
Mabuhay! Welcome to the Philippines. 大家好，欢迎来菲律宾. The Philippines is where Asia and Europe collide, creating a melting pot that is unlike anywhere else in Southeast Asia. The modern Filipino culture developed through influences from Chinese traders, Spanish conquistadores, and American rulers. The trade with China was the beginning of a major influence and contribution within the Filipino culture. Some of the influences of Chinese in our culture are the culinary arts and the rigid and authoritarian family structure. We can thank the Spanish for the European influence, tangible in almost every corner, ranging from the food, clothing, streets, religious festivals, and other celebrations. The Americans give life to free education and made English as a second language. They made our life easier because of fast food chains and, of course, of our most popular local buses, the jeepneys. This unique combination of foreign influence produced a complex but beautiful local culture that somehow turned out to be distinctly Filipino. So, come with me and explore the beauty and treasures of the Philippine Islands. From Taiwan, let us take the first and oldest commercial airline in Asia and the flag carrier of the Philippines, the Philippine Airlines, to bring us to the beautiful 7,107 islands in Southeast Asia called the Philippines. It will just take us around 2 hours and 20 minutes to be there. To make our travel time fruitful, let me give you a glimpse of what we can offer. The Philippines geography is divided into 3 island groups, namely Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Accounting for 47% of the total land area, Luzon is the largest island group and is situated in the north. Mindanao, the second largest group, is located in the south and occupies 34% of the total land area, while Visayas is a group of smaller islands between Luzon and Mindanao, comprising the remaining 19% of land area. With these island groups, the Philippines is also divided administratively into 16 regions. Our first stop is the National Capital Region, or NCR, also called Metro Manila, located in Luzon. NCR is the commercial, financial, educational, and industrial center of the country and is composed of 16 cities, including Manila, which serves as the capital city of the Philippines. It is also the country's seat of government. Going a little further to the north is Central Luzon, or Region 3. The region earned itself the nickname Rice Granary of the Philippines since it has the largest plain in the country and produces 1/3 of the country's total rice production. Its provinces are Aurora, Bataan, Bulacan, Nueva Ecija, Pampanga, Tarlac, and Zambales. Region 3 is also famous for its jewelry and leather industries. For years, May Kawayan in Bulacan has been the hub of jewelry production in the Philippines and in Asia. The establishment of the Clark International Airport in Region 3, specifically in Angeles City, opens a brighter opportunity for economic and industrial growth. It actually helped a lot in boosting the region's overall development. The region has its share of several beautiful and historical sites. To mention a few, we have Mount Samat National Shrine, also called Dambana ng Kagitingan. This historical shrine was built to honor the gallantry of Filipino and American soldiers who fought during the World War II. It features the touted world's second tallest cross with a height of 92 meters or 302 feet. We also have Las Casas Filipinas de Aguzar, Spanish for Aguzar's Philippine Houses. It is an open-air museum and heritage park which showcases old houses that were dismantled brick by brick from their original locations across the country and reassembled in the same order inside the park. Barasuain Museum is located across the hall of the Barasuain Convent. Its corridors are hung with historical photographs of Bulacan, and different rooms relate how democracy was established in the country. This region is also rich in different festivities and celebrations. Among these are Tanduyong and Obando Festival. The Tanduyong Festival. Tanduyong is a kind of onion in the city, being the main producer of onion, garlic, rice, and vegetables, and to offer gratitude to favored collect of Tanduyong. Barasuain Museum, we also have the Obando Fertility Dance. It is a festival where couples who hope to be blessed with children perform street dances in a long procession. The fertility dance of Obando is both a festival and a prayerful appeal for devotees. Obando has hosted this festival since pre-Spanish times. Now we move further to the north. The Cagayan Valley region, or Region 2, it is the largest region in the Philippines with regard to the land area. It is composed of 5 provinces, namely Batanes, Cagayan, Isabela, Nueva Vizcaya, and Quirino. The Cagayan Valley region is abundant in agricultural products such as rice, corn, peanut, beans, and fruits, making Region 2 known as the top corn producer and second in rice production in the Philippines. They are noted for their pottery and basket weaving traditions. Visiting Cagayan would lead you to scenic waterfalls, untamed jungles and forests, giant caves with millions of bats, mighty rivers, and pristine beaches. One of the most visited religious tourist spots in Cagayan province is the Our Lady of Piat Basilica. It houses the patroness of Cagayan Valley, which originally came from Macau, China. The Palawi Island Protected Landscape and Seascape is an island that is protected area and national park. With a land area of more than 3,000 hectares, Palawi Island is made up of volcanic debris. It is a home to a fishing community without electricity and commercial accommodation. Northern Sierra Madre National Park. It hosts one of the country's few remaining primary forests that is home to critically endangered species such as the Philippine monkey-eating eagle. Caves, waterfalls, and blue lagoons can also be found. Now, if we go on the opposite side of Region 2, we will find the Ilocos region or Region 1, which is in the northwest portion of the Philippines. The region is composed of 4 provinces, namely Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union, and Pangasinan. Its regional center is San Fernando City, La Union. The economy is driven by agro-industrial businesses such as milk fish cultivation and processing, livestock raising, fish paste processing, and others. The region is also rich in crafts with renowned blanket weaving and pottery. So let's take a look around and see what's in store for us in this region. We have first and foremost the windmills of the North Wind Power Development Corporation. These are like giant electric fans powered by winds from the sea. This wind farm produces 25 megawatts, enough to supply 40% of the electricity needs of Ilocos Norte. We also have the very famous Vegan Heritage Village. This place is known as Mestizo District, where the streets are lined with Spanish-era ancestral houses, all with Spanish time tile roofs, massive hardwood flooring, and balustrades. In between Region 2 and Region 1 is the Cordillera Administrative Region. Cordillera Administrative Region is composed of 6 provinces: Abra, Apayao, Benguet, Ifugao, Kalinga, and Mountain Province. And 2 cities. We have Baguio City, which serves as the regional center, and Tabuk in Kalinga Province. It is this country's only landlocked region and the home for the numerous tribes collectively called the Igorots. Cordillera is the best and primary source of highland vegetables such as lettuce, broccoli, carrots, and other greens. The region is also known for its aromatic coffees and strawberries. Highlighting its regional center, which is Baguio, it is well known to be the summer capital of the Philippines. Sorry for that, because my internet was a bit unstable. Anyway, going back to my discussion, so let's go back to Baguio City. As I was saying, Baguio is considered as the summer capital of the Philippines because of its geographic location, some 1,600 meters above sea level, nestled within the Cordillera Central Mountain Range in northern Luzon, and enclosed by the province of Benguet. In Baguio, we can enjoy the beauty of the Mines View Park. The park is named Mines View since it overlooks the spectacular Baguio view of the Cordillera Mountains and Benguet's gold and copper mines. The park dates back to the American times, and it has stood the test of time. Here, they also celebrate the Panagbenga Festival. Panagbenga is an annual flower festival celebrated every February. The term Panagbenga comes from a Kankanai term meaning season of blooming. This festival reflects the history, traditions, and values of Baguio and the Cordilleras. Also found in this region is the Banawi Rice Terraces. The Banawi Rice Terraces was built 2,000 years ago and an amphitheater-like stone-walled terraces. It is an enduring illustration of an ancient civilization that surpassed various challenges and setbacks posed by modernization. All right, now we move to the south of NCR. Take note, this is still Luzon. Region 4A, or Calabarzon, is located in the adjacent south of Metro Manila. Calabarzon is composed of the provinces of Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, and Quezon. The acronym is derived from the first 2 letters of every province that composes it. It is known as the industrial powerhouse of the Philippines. Calabarzon has been the site of the first expansion of industrial growth outside of Metro Manila and hosts the first wave and the most number of Taiwanese business locators than anywhere else in the Philippines. So what will make us visit this region? We have Villa Escudero Plantations. It's an 800 hectares of working coconut plantation and hacienda. Since 1981, the plantation has opened its doors as a resort, offering village tours, museum tour, food, and accommodations. It has developed a worldwide reputation as a focal point to experience Philippine culture and history in a beautiful rural setting. We also have the Masungi Geo Reserve. It is a conservation area and a rustic rock garden tucked in the rainforest. Masungi's name is derived from the word masungki, which translates to spiked, an apt description for a sprawling limestone landscape found within. In this sanctuary, you'll be able to commune with nature, with wildlife, and plant species. Region 4B, on the other hand, is composed of the provinces of Mindoro, Occidental and Oriental, Marinduque, Romblon, and Palawan. There are 2 cities. We have Calapan and Puerto Princesa, and 71 municipalities in the entire region. Mimaropa is dubbed as the treasure trove of southern Luzon. The region's economy relies mostly on agriculture, fishing, and ecotourism. Since they are islands, primary access is by air or sea. An international airport is available in Puerto Princesa City. For all its beauty and natural attractions, Puerto Princesa has enormous potential as a world-class destination of choice. Let me share with you 2 attractions from this region which were inscribed as UNESCO's World Heritage Sites. We have the Puerto Princesa subterranean river. According to UNESCO, it encompasses one of the world's most impressive cave systems, featuring spectacular limestone karst landscape, pristine natural beauty, and intact old-growth forest and distinctive wildlife. UNESCO also took into consideration that the Puerto Princesa subterranean river contains globally significant habitat for biodiversity conservation to include it in the World Heritage Sites list. We also have the Tubataha Reef. It protects an area of almost 100 hectares of over 1,000 species inhabiting the reef. Many are already considered as endangered species. Animal species found include manta rays, lionfish, sea turtles, clownfish, and of course, sharks. Bicol region, it's where we are today, is composed of 6 provinces. 4 on the Bicol Peninsula mainland, Albay, where Bicol University is, Camarines Sur, Camarines Norte, and Sorsogon. 2 on the offshore land provinces, we have Catanduanes and Masbate, and 7 cities, namely Legazpi, Naga, Iriga, Tabaco, Ligao, Sorsogon, and Masbate. The largest component of our region's economy is agriculture. It is known for its pili nuts, coconuts, abaca, banana, coffee, jackfruit, as well as rice and corn. Other industries include commercial fishing, mining, handicrafts, jewelry, manufacturing. Bicol region is also known for several active volcanoes, tranquil whale sharks, secret beaches, and of course, spicy foods. When you reach Bicol region, when you reach our place, especially our province, the province of Albay, you will have a chance to enjoy the beauty of Mount Mayon. It is renowned for its perfect cone. For almost 200 years, the Cagsawa ruins stood a test of time and has become the most recognizable spot in the province of Albay. It was the center of the colonial settlement of Cagsawa, which was destroyed by the February 1, 1814 eruption of Mayon volcano. What remains are the ruins of the iglesia and convento with its iconic bell tower. In Sorsogon, we have the Bulusan Volcano Natural Park. This protected natural park covers rainforests, grassland, hot spring gardens, and farmland. The park is also home to the famous Bulusan volcano, a popular trekking destination in Luzon. Donsol whale sharks. Donsol is Sorsogon's most popular destination as it is world famous for whale shark viewing. Several whale sharks, locally called butanding, naturally congregate around Donsol waters from December to May. In Masbate, we also have Rodeo Masbateño. Rodeo Masbateño is an annual event that showcases skills in livestock handling, which has been vigorously celebrated by Masbateños since 1993. Here in Albay is the Ibalong Festival. It is a festivity based on the Ibalong epic featuring the bravery and strength of three heroes named Baltog, Handyong, and Bantong. The three men fought against the evil creatures, including one-eyed monsters, giant flying sharks, crocodiles as big as boats, and many, many more. Peña Francia Festival is also a religious festival honoring the feast day of Our Lady of Peña Francia, patroness of the Bicol region. Its main highlight is the fluvial procession along the Naga River. All right, so Region 5 is the last region located in the first and biggest island group in the Philippines, which is Luzon. Now, let us explore Visayas, located in the central part of the Philippines. Region 6, or Western Visayas, consists of the islands of, it consists of 6 provinces, namely Aklan, Antique, Negros Occidental, Capiz, Guimaras, and Iloilo. Region 6 is home to the world-renowned beach of Boracay. If you are a beach goer and love the finest white sand, bright blue waters, fun water activities, and amazing nightlife, Boracay is the place for you. So this place is a place of color and excitement. They also celebrate some festivals. We have Dinagyang Festival. Dinagyang is a Hiligaynon word that means merrymaking. It is one of the religious festivities in the Philippines that celebrates the feast of the Santo Niño and the pact between the datus or chiefs with the locals. And we also have the Mascara Festival. Mas, which means crowd, and Kara means faces, thus forming Mascara, which basically means multitude of faces. To lift the spirits of the locals and bring back the smiles on their faces, the Mascara Festival was created. The smiling mask were a declaration of the people that they will pull through and survive the challenges and tragedies that they are facing. Region 7, or Central Visayas, located in the central part of Visayas and consists of 4 provinces: Bohol, Cebu, Negros Oriental, and Siquijor, and the highly urbanized cities of Cebu City, Lapu-Lapu City, and Mandaue City. Agriculture, fishing, handicrafts, including guitar making, are the main industries in the region. It is also home to about 80% of the country's domestic shipping companies. And of course, we are all fascinated with the Chocolate Hills in Bohol. Chocolate Hills is composed of more than 1,000 symmetrical mounds, conical and dome-shaped, that most people liken them to Hershey Kisses. It is called the Chocolate Hills, not because it's made of chocolate, but because of its color. There are a number of significant Spanish colonial buildings in Central Visayas, which includes Basilica Manora del Santo Niño, Fort San Pedro, Casa Gogordo Museum, and Magellan's Cross. Eastern Visayas, or Region 8, directly faces the Pacific Ocean. It is composed of two main islands, Leyte and Samar, connected by the famous San Juanico Bridge. It consists of 6 provinces: Biliran, Eastern Samar, Leyte, Northern Samar, Samar, and Southern Leyte. It has a thriving food processing industry, producing makapuno tarts, pickled vegetables, processed meat, virgin coconut oil, banana chips, and other delicacies. Region 8 is very famous for its pineapple plantation because of its distinct sweetness. This is a 200-hectare located in the north of Hibanuyan and Canaga communities. When it comes to festivals, they normally celebrate the Manaragat Festival. It is a tribute to the fishermen. The Manaragat is a festive dance characterized by varied movements and intricate steps of the different species of fish and seashells, and beautifully presented by dancers in exotic and colorful costumes. The Manaragat honors its patron saint, Saint Bartolomeo, the miraculous saint who is believed by the local folks to have maintained the richness of the region. Karatong Festival. Karatong is the Waray word for bamboo. During the olden times, the people used bamboos to warn the town if there were enemies, such as pirates and tribes who wanted to invade their lands. They would make loud noises to warn the townsmen of the arrival of the intruders, and would also use it as their weapon in the form of spears to fight against the enemies. With the story they have, they will make it into a series of routines, amazing music, and dance moves. Region 9, or Zamboanga Peninsula, is formerly known as Western Mindanao and located in the southernmost part of the country. It consists of 3 provinces, namely Zamboanga del Norte, Zamboanga del Sur, and Zamboanga Sibugay. This region is known as the #1 commercial marine fish producing region in the country, as well as a top seaweed producer. Since fishing is one source of their economy, it is in this region where we can find the sardines capital of the Philippines. In this region, specifically in Dapitan, where the national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, was exiled. And during his exile, he was able to purchase a 16-hectare sanctuary, which is now popularly called the Rizal Shrine, a major historical landmark in Dapitan and of the Philippine archipelago. Festivals are also part of their culture. The Kinabayo Festival portrays a mysterious and colorful pageant reenacting the Spanish-Moorish Wars. They were able to overturn the tide through the miraculous spirit of St. James. Megayon Festival. In the Subanantang, Megayon means unity and solidarity. This festival honors the tri-people settlers of the province, the Subanens, Bangsamoro Muslims, and Christians. Its main goal is to foster unity and understanding among 3 cultures. Northern Mindanao is composed of 5 provinces: Camiguin, Misamis Oriental, Lanao del Norte, Bukidnon, and Misamis Occidental, and 2 cities, Cagayan de Oro City and Iligan City. We can experience the abundance in the supply of fruits such as lanzones, durian, mangosteen, mango, rambutan, and marang in this region. In one of its cities, the Iligan City, it is considered as the industrial center of South, as it produces hydroelectric power using the Maria Cristina Falls for the whole Mindanao region through the National Power Corporation. Popular also in this region is Mount Katinglad. The mountain is said to be the 2nd highest peak in the Philippines, with 9,636 feet above sea level. The place is also a national park and served as the protected habitat for the endangered Philippine eagle. As to the region's annual festival, they have Dalit Cultural Festival. Dalit means to offer, and the festival is opened with the offering of a live goat killed by the wildlife hunters after the blessings of the tribal head are made. This is a revival of the old tribal custom and expressing thanks for peace, a bountiful, and all the blessings from God. Region 11, Southern Mindanao, or also called Davao Region. It is Mindanao Center for Trade and Investment. It is composed of 5 provinces: Davao del Sur, Davao del Norte, Davao Oriental, Davao Occidental, and Compostela Valley. It also boasts of 6 cities: Davao, Tagum, Island Garden City of Samal, Panabo, Mati, and Digos. The region's sustainable economic landscape can be attributed to its vast natural resources, reliable facilities, conducive business environment, and competitive human resources. It is the leading producer of mangoes, pomelos, coconut products, papayas, and mangosteen. Durians and bananas are also the most notable export products of the region. It is in this region where we can find the durian capital of the Philippines and the banana capital of the Philippines. Its existing road network, the Davao International Airport and seaport facilities efficiently support both travel and trade, making it a major gateway to the ASEAN and Pacific. In southern Mindanao, we can find the Vanishing Island. It is an 80-hectare shoal, or just a small strip of white sand visible only during low tide, and half of it vanishes during high tide. They also celebrate the well-known Kadayawan Festival. Kadayawan Festival serves as a Thanksgiving event for the gifts of nature, the wealth of culture, and bounties of harvest and serenity of living. It also celebrates and gives tribute to the Lumads, a collective group of indigenous people living in the city. Region 12, Soxargen, also called Soxargen. It is a region of the Philippines located in central Mindanao. The name is an acronym that stands for the region's 4 provinces and one of its cities. The 4 provinces are North Cotabato, South Cotabato, Sarangani Province, and Sultan Kudarat. And the 5 cities, Coronadal, Tacurong, General Santos, Kidapawan, and Cotabato. The region's major export consists of fresh or canned or frozen tuna and other fish products. They also have fresh and canned pineapples, fresh bananas, garments, and aquaculture products. Well known in this region is the Rio Grande de Mindanao. This is the largest river in the Philippines and the longest in the whole Mindanao region. With an estimated length of 182 kilometers and 92 meters wide, this river is crisscrossing the whole area of the city. This river is good for water sports and, of course, boat racing. Celebrated every December in this region is the Sharif Kabunsuan Festival in honor of Sharif Muhammad Kabunsuan, an Arab missionary from Johor who planted the seed of Islam in central Mindanao. Highlights in this festival are dance parade, bangka race, and the reenactment of Sharif's arrival. Region 13, or the Caraga Administrative Region. Caraga is an administrative region in the Philippines on the northeastern portion of the island of Mindanao. The region is composed of 5 provinces: Agusan del Norte, Agusan del Sur, Surigao del Norte, Surigao del Sur, and Dinagat Islands. It also has 6 cities: Butuan, Surigao, Bislig, Tandag, Kabadbaran, and Bayugan. The region is noted for its wood-based economy, its extensive water resources, and its rich mineral deposits. Because of its rich water resources, they come to celebrate the Pasayan Festival. Pasayan is the local word for shrimp, which is bountiful in the area. The city celebrates this festival through cook-off. This culinary cook fest uses large quantities of shrimp prepared in a variety of recipes. Also, we have the Kinilaw Festival, showcases different styles in preparing kinilaw or kinilaw, a dish consisting of raw fish marinated in citrus, vinegar, or coconut milk mixed with spices and served as an appetizer. The Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao is the region located in the Mindanao group of islands. It is predominantly composed of the Muslim provinces, the Basilan, Lanao del Sur, Maguindanao, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi. It's one of its cities, the Marawi city, is the only city that is Islamic in the Philippines. The region is renowned for pottery, blacksmithing, furniture making, and weaving of mats and malong. When in Bangsamoro, it is good to visit the Aga Khan Museum or Islamic Arts. Aga Khan Museum of Islamic Arts has huge collections of indigenous art, displayed ethnic music tape recorded, the native folk dances from different regions of Mindanao, Sulu, and Palawan, the native tools and weapons used by the Muslims, and different artistic designs of houses are the main attraction of the museum. Also, the Royal Torogan. The Royal Torogan is the ancestral house and the royal residence of the upper class Maranao. Within the Sultanate, no one can have a house bigger than the Torogan, which is the dwelling place of the Datu or chief, along with his wives and children. Am I back? Can I proceed? All right. So you see, with this over 7,000 islands, there is a lot to see and do in the Philippines. You may climb famous mountains or volcanoes, explore colonial heritage, feel the party spirit of Filipino festivals, and got to meet the local tribes, snorkel, surf, or just embrace the waves of beaches anywhere in the island. Commune with nature, with wildlife and plant species, or even taste the freshest catch or harvest and delicacies of the region. Oh, in 10 minutes time, we will be arriving at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, located in one of the cities of the National Capital Region. So if you still have time, you may want to enjoy the old Spanish fortress in Intramuros that provides a glimpse of what the city used to be under over 3 centuries of Spanish rule. Or the Bahay Chinoy. It displays wide selections of pictures and artifacts that explain the history and cultural heritage of Filipino and Chinese society in the Philippines. This museum will give you a better understanding of the Filipino-Chinese community, from the arrival of the first migrants to the colonial period and to the present time. You can also try some of the trips around Binondo. Binondo is the oldest Chinatown in the world. So those are just some of the places that you can enjoy while in the NCR. However, at this point, I also wish you a good rest because tomorrow you will be traveling to the south of Luzon and be immersed with the culture of the Bicol region. A pleasant afternoon and maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, Professor Marnie, for that very informative discussion. May I ask if there are any more questions if there are questions from the participants for our discussion for today?
May I ask a question?
Yes, sir. Sir Chi Lin Liu.
Yes. There are so many little islands. Do you travel everywhere in Philippines?
I am sorry.
I-
Okay. In fact, I haven't been to all of this 7,000 plus islands here in the Philippines, but I assure you that all of these islands will give you a pleasant, if you go there, it will give you a pleasant stay. And of course, including the people.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Chi Lin Liu, for your question. There is another hand from the participants. Yes, Sir Jian Zhang.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Jen Jampan, and can just call me Ethan. I'm from National Chongqing University. It's not like a question, it's more like a comment. Actually, I visited Philippines before. I visited Metro Manila, and as a volunteer, go to the San Fernando Lanu, called Barangay Abud. It's more like village Abud, something like that. And it's really, really cool that in Philippines, there is a lot of fantastic like landscape or the places can visit. So I just want to share to every participant that if today you have the opportunity can visit Philippines, it is a very, very good country, and you have, if you have time, you should visit and have fun. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I am happy that you had a wonderful experience here in the Philippines. And indeed, the Filipino people are very welcoming. Thank you.
Thank you,
Maraming
Sir
salamat
Ethan. Maraming salamat, Ethan, for sharing us your experience here in the Philippines. May I ask if there are any more questions for our discussion for today? There being none, I would like to thank Ma'am Marnie once again for your beautiful presentation and informative discussion. May I request everyone to please fill out the evaluation and attendance form in the presented in the link in the chat box. And also, may I request everyone to turn on your cameras for a photo opportunity. All right, please hold your smile so that our technical may get everyone. Again, may I remind everyone to please fill out the attendance form and the evaluation form provided in the links in the chat box. Also, may I share in advance the details for tomorrow's session. I think that ends the first day of our online international training. Thank you very much to everyone who have been with us today. This has been Abigail Jo Amabaiza signing off as your host. Okay na po. Sorry. Wala po ata.
Bye, everyone.
This is the school we wish to sing, of a school to honor and revere, a temple built by man of firmness, a mold for you to walk with pride, for He will always be united, although we tread on distant lands. We all shall cherish what you've taught us, that you wholeheartedly gave forth. Bicol University, burning torch of wisdom, fount of courage, hope, and love, seed of truth and light. Bicol University, burning torch of wisdom, fount of courage, hope, and love, seed of truth.